everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, this is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and this is Wine Blogging Wednesday 44. I felt like that was like a wrestling promo, like wrestle me. 44, Wine Blogging Wednesday. My good friend Len, Mott, let's link up his blog. He deserves a big shout out. Please check out this blog. Lend it out. Link it up, Mott. Also link up the Wine Blogging Wednesday link, where you'll be able to see all the other wine bloggers on the internets talk about their Cabernet Franc experiences from France, because that was the concept that I brought to the table. The thought, what am I looking for here? The theme. Couldn't find the word theme, guys. Guy who's always clicking away, couldn't find the word theme, Mott. It's one of those days, baby. It's one of those days. I wanted the entire blogging community to experience Cab Franc from the French part of the world. I'm in a great mood today. But especially Loire Valley, where you have Bourgogne and Chinon killing it. And I mean ripping it, making great wines, very terroir-driven wines, very true. And if there's nothing else with WLTV that I'm trying to spit, and that's the truth. The truth about trusting your own palate, trying different things, not listening to me, Parker, Tanzer, anybody, doing your own thing, but always experiencing new things, but keeping it real, liking what you like, not being embarrassed to like Riesling or White Zinfandel or what have you, not being embarrassed that you are a sheep and drink Pinot Noir every day, not being embarrassed and having wine self-esteem. That is what I'm trying to preach on the Thunder Show, but I do want you to try different things, so you should be a little embarrassed for drinking just Pinot Noir. I feel that Cabernet Franc from France, especially from the Loire Valley, continues to bring some of the most interesting and thought-provoking wines that I've come across. I like to think of wine very much like people. I like the charisma factor. I like the uniqueness factor. I think too many wines are being made the same way, with the theory of getting a good score and then selling their wine. To me, that is crapzor, and I'm not a crapzor man. No, I am not a crapzor man. And so today, I'm very enthusiastic about showing you three wines that I've not had yet, but have tremendous pedigree, and I've had all three of these producers in the past. A lot of these are the 05, the 05, and a Library 1990 Chinon. Understand Chinon. Chinon, if you go back into the 40s, was priced higher than some first growth Bordeaux's. They are very sought after traditional wines, and they've obviously lost a lot of their sex appeal over the last decade. Let me ask you why. I'm going to answer it for you. I've asked you and I'm going to answer you. It's because the main press in this country have not focused on those wines. That's right, because Parker and Spectator have not scored too many of these wines or done too many features. That's why they're out of touch, right? If the media doesn't pump it, it doesn't happen. Think about anything, whether it's music or movies. It's all the same games, my friend. If they don't get exposure, they're not going to win. And that's why the internet as a whole is the great equalizer, not only in the wine world, but in the world. And so it gives me this opportunity to have this platform where I kick out 400 plus shows and teach you, show you, share with you, and hang with you about different things. And that's why I'm so pumped to do this show, and so pumped that a lot of the fellow wine bloggers who are killing it in their own right, doing it a different way, most of them through the written word. I can't do that. I'm run-on sentence king, but I can kick it on video. A little bit. Some people don't think so, but I do. And a lot of you do as well. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm very, very pumped up, clearly. And, don't be scared. And look at the phones ringing. The fans are calling already because they love the rant. They love the rant when it comes from the heart, and that's why we kill it, Mott. First wine. Fabrice Gasnier, 2005 Chinon Cuvée Via Vines, meaning old vines. Fabrice Gasnier is a very small producer of Chinon. I'm a fan of his stuff in the past. This is $14 US, a very well-priced wine considering the euro conversion right now, and considering these wines are really truthful wines coming from the vineyard, letting the vineyard speak for itself, not a lot of manipulation in the vineyard, in the wine making process in the chemistry room. And Chinon is a very fascinating place. Has to be 90% Cabernet Franc. They do allow 10% Cabernet Sauvignon, also known, so that's kind of cool. I'm a very big fan of Chinon. I just am. I just think they're very truthful, and there's a very exciting kind of vegetal component that they kick out that I like. So many of you may not. This is a very controversial characteristic that a lot of people have not been able to embrace. The dirtiness, the terroir, the earthiness, the vegetables. But I continue to embrace them. So does Rowdy Piper. That's why I like him. And even the Smurfs have been fans of Chinon in the past. Again, another reason they're on. And yes, he is carrying an American football. Big ups to the New York Jets. Let's give this wine, say it with me, Mom, please, a sniffy sniff. A little more enthusiasm.
Sniffy sniff.
There you go. Sniffy sniff. And no doubt, we get right into the vegetables. English peas, anybody? If you're a big fan of English peas, really probably one of my favorite products on earth. Feel free to ship me some. Speaking of which, I am obnoxiously sorry, but I don't remember your name. You were here Saturday for the Vaniac party. This root beer killed it. Killed it. I love it. I love root beer. I want to do a root beer show. So if you want to send me some root beer, I will take anything anybody wants to send as their favorite root beer. Mott, what should we do? Let's link it up. Let's link up, what? Your address, my address. I don't know. Just maybe you'll write the address to Wine Library down below.
Okay.
Attention, Mott. You take care of the root beer. Anyway, this was unreal. I want to do a root beer show pretty bad. Anyway, vegetables, English peas, very, very heavy on the celery root. I also get a turnip component on this nose, which I'm liking quite a bit. Very sour black cherries. Very aromatically exciting. And again, right off the bat, for 14 bones, already almost worth it to me, just on the aromatics. But again, a lot of you are not going to veer towards the veggies, so you have to keep that in mind. Let's give it a whirl. Medium to full body, has a nice leathery component. I love the fact that this is bone dry. I mean, dry. Completely suckers up my palate, which I'm appreciative of. Thank you. Thank you, Fabrice Gasnier, for suckering up my palate. Nice and dry, I appreciate it. I love the plum, really dark plum, like plum skin. Plum skin components on the mouthfeel that is very obvious. Little hints of black pepper, which are gorgeous, but a tremendous length, my friends. Like great meatiness to it, almost like like a good stew. A good stew with a lot of vegetables. There's that kind of analogy reminiscing in my palate right now. I'm really liking this wine. It's a little dry, it's a little hollow in the mid palate, and the finish is solid, but not incredible. Let me just give it one more shot. I like this wine. A little dry for most people, but I think a lot of people would really enjoy this wine. This is a great blueprint, a beautiful DNA of exactly what Cabernet Franc from the Loire Valley tastes like. A very low cost of entry to get that opportunity, considering 14 bones, not too bad. Kind of expensive, I get it. CKC's, big shout out to the College Kid crew. We haven't given them a shout out in a while. Love it. Love you guys watching the show. I appreciate it. I'm going to go 90 points in this. I'm loving it. And again, here is the classic problem with wine ratings in our country. There are a lot of people who would think this is an 85-point wine. Many more than think it's 90. But I'm attracted to this flavor profile. I like it. I just like it. What do you want from me? I like it. And I think a lot of you would as well. And if nothing else, just like my experience a couple days ago with the Australian Shirazes, and I got excited about them, it's nice to like everything. That should be a t-shirt right there. It's nice to like everything, because it is. I mean, it's just awesome. Anyway, that was good. It was a great start, actually. It really came on, that wine. It smells great. You're not big on the veggies, Mom, huh? Mom used to have to shove them down your throat. And that's the thing. You have to understand your DNA. You have to understand what you like. That is the key to enjoying wine. Not what you're supposed to like. Not what you think you're supposed to. Oh, this is Opus 1. Oh, look, feet. Delicious. Oh, shut enough to pop. Gary likes those. Oh, I like it. Oh, wow. Robert Parker said 95 points. Delicious. That is insanity. Stop it. Domaine Darragon 2005 Bourgogne from Jackie Blot. Bourgogne is right next to, this is the Mi Pente, I need to mention, which is single vintage. This is 91 to 92 points. David Schoeneck, 29 US dollars. Great number. Leon Washington, phenomenal running back. Star, people don't realize it. We're not taking McFadden. Guys, we're not taking McFadden in the draft. We don't need him. Anyway, Bourgogne, right next to Chinon. Cabernet Franc, producer as well. Mainly Cab Franc, again, Petit Breton, Cab Breton, Cabernet Sauvignons, all out a little bit. Let's give this a little bit of a sniffy sniff. This is even more intense than the Gasnier, and I'll tell you right now, this is one of the most pomegranate-driven noses I've ever come across. You've heard me reference pomegranate in the nose, in the bouquet, in the flavor profile of wines before, but I'm going to tell you right now, this wine has the most that I've seen on WLTV. So if you're a big fan of Pom, heck, you're paying $6 for that little thing anyway. You're halfway, quarter of the way home for a bottle of this. Very heavy on the pomegranate, and surrounded by red radishes until your face falls off. There are so many red radishes coming through on this nose as well. I mean, this is like a farmer's market. That's what I love about these wines. They're so true, right? I mean, they're just so interesting. I get a little hint of pickle juice, and you can see it's going to make the dimple come out. The pickles are going to get the dimple to come out, and that's what's happening here. A little hint of pickle juice. I like the radishes. I'm feeling the pomegranates. A very complex, complete nose. A little bit of dark chocolate shriveled on top of all that. So a lot of good things going on. There's some goodness in this nose. Let's give it a whirl. This wine is bringing thunder. Dry. Wow, these wines are dry. The Cab Franc can get really dry on you. A more polished, sophisticated version of the last wine. Really? Almost like who I'm going to be in 10 years compared to today. That's the difference of those two wines. As you get older, you get refined. I mean, never lose that youthful jubilance, right? But there is something that comes along with the gray hairs. It's just the way it is. Don't you agree, Mott? Seasoning. I like that. This wine is a more seasoned version of the last wine. Double the price. Very good. I think David Schoeneck killed it with this 91 to 92 score. I'm going to copy it because I'm a copycat. I'm going to go 91 to 92 points on this as well. What this has is more polish and elegance, a more refined kind of drink, cleaner and a better transition on the mid palate. But obviously not good enough to score much higher than the last wine. Last wine probably deserves an 89 plus, but I like Cabernet Franc so much. What am I going to do? Anyway, just a really well-made wine. I think Bordeaux lovers could really get into this wine. I really do. You cannot avoid the obnoxious English pea flavor profile in these wines. I taste it heavily. It's very good. I like the dryness. I like the complexity. I like the weight of this wine. It gets a little funkier than the last wine. It just smells like the forest. I don't know. This is just real wine to me. I'm very captivated by this effort. I'm very captivated by Cabernet Franc in general. And I just think these are tremendous food wines with amazing flexibility. It's really, I love comparing it to people, so I'm going to. It's really like that, like that 47-year-old businessman, hundreds of millions of dollars, who really wants to play pickup basketball in Harlem. I love that guy. That's what this wine reminds me of. I hope that made some sense to somebody besides me. And the final, wow, we got to get in on this color, Mott. You know what, Mott? I'm going to just ask you to do something real quick. We're going to try to do something real fun. I want people to see the color of this wine. Got it? Feeling good? Nice?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. That's a 2005 Cabernet Franc. Wasting wine everywhere. People are going to want to fight. think I brought Piper. And I want you to see the color difference on this wine. Clearly, can you see it, Mont? Was it obvious to you?
Yeah, I can see it.
A much more clear, like much lighter on the color, much more copper, brown, bronzing kind of thing going on. Very classic characteristic of older wine. If you ever see blind tastings and you're like, oh my god, how did they know it was older? There's tricks on color right off the bat. This is aromatically big. Now this smells flat out like poop. There's a poopiness component. Come on, smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. This has a very solid, you've just gone to a barn and there's sheep and there are cows and there are pigs and it doesn't smell right. It's, what is it, 4-H?
Yeah.
4-H. This smells like 4-H, my friends. Big time.
Yes.
Big time. It is heavy dosage of manure and vegetables. You've gone flat out to deep of Pennsylvania in the 1960s to a farm, flea market, festival. It's so obvious. It's like the old Flemington Fair, 1989 when I went. If anybody went there, big shout out. Maybe we went on a ride together. No, I probably beat you in that clown game. Remember that game with the water and the balloon has to pop? I was addicted to that game. That game and the rolling the balls for the horses. Like you had to get the pool, and there's like three holes. One's like jump, leap, and trot. I used to love that game as well. Anyways, very heavy dosage of those flavors that we've been talking about. Let's give it a whirl and see if it tastes like that. I'm sorry, I get so excited. Olga Raffalo. This is the 1990 Chinon Picasso. This comes from Luis Dresner, great importer, very cool wines. $42 US, 92 points. John Gilman, who's got a very interesting thing going on. As a matter of fact, let's link him up. Johnny G. Gilman's doing some nice work as a wine critic that a lot of people don't know about. Let's totally give him a shout out and see what's going on here. Very classic, lighter than the last two wines by far, hence the color even. This is like a library release. They hold back on the wines. I like the complexity. I like the inkiness. I almost feel like I'm drinking pen ink on the tail end. There's some beautiful cabbage flavors on the mid palate, dry and tart. Not as dry as the last two wines. A little smooth, a little bit elderly in comparison. A little tired also. Might be taking a nap at 4:30 while watching Madlock. And that's where my problem is. It's missing a little bit of a pizzazz. It's a little bit lighter than I expected, and a little bit more awkward. Kind of down on this wine in comparison. I'm going to go 87 points in this wine. I still like it, but for 42 bones, a major pass. No comparison. You can buy both these wines for the price of this wine and get a boatload more of pleasure. I mean, it's like spending your money at a casino or spending it with your family on vacation. Make sense? Just dip into this a little more. So, drink now. I want to do more of this. Drink now, and these two wines easily, this wine can definitely be put away for 5 to 10 years. I think this wine's more of a 3 to 5 year wine. Very high on having these wines with hen. I've been a big fan of the hen Cab Franc combo. Cornish hen, things of that nature. They've been surprisingly good with steak, hanger steak, skirt steak. I'm also a big fan of having these with mushrooms and bacon. Keep that in mind. It's a great combo to have with Cab Franc. Just going to break this down a little more. Bourgogne. I guarantee a lot of you have not had these wines. Interesting. 9 million bottles are made of this wine. That's a little fun fact for you, Mike. You like that? Gotta kick it once in a while. Show my knowledge. Just not a fun guy. Got a little skill as well. Not too much. Really enjoyed this show. Really excited to read all the bloggers' thoughts on their Cab Francs. Please check out the Wine Blogging Wednesday family. All these wonderful people out there writing from their hearts for you about their wine experiences. So please support them as well. Thrilled that you support me. Can't thank you enough. Oh, I want to give a big shout out to me. One more time, GaryVaynerchuk.com. If you're not checking out these videos and you haven't subscribed, please do. Mott, link it up. I'm really having a lot of fun over there, and I think it's a nice insight into my thought process, and I think it's pretty cool. Other than that, I had a wonderful time. Question of the day. Your last Cabernet Franc from France experience, and if not, what are you waiting for? Seriously. Smurfs have had it. You, with a little bit of me, we're changing the world.